Don't want to
No, it's
misrepresent
okay.
you.
It's Gold One is a new development.
Well, that's good.
To give some background on this
Yeah.
game, I was duoing with my friend. He's top lane,
Okay.
Silas, and he was plat 2 at the time. So the average of this game was plat 3.
Okay, so
And
yeah.
and I know this is an early week game for me, which is unusual, but it was a close loss, so I kind of wanted to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, when we say like when we request the VODs and everything like that, it's just no runaway stomps or anything like that because people end up just trying to ego flash it on stream
there's no
or
point.
VODs. Yeah, and it's like I mean it's their money, but it's a it's not why we do this. So
For sure.
okay, so what's your peak rank?
So my peak rank has been plat 4, but that was flexed last season, so it almost doesn't count.
Yeah, no.
This is my peak rank for like ever. I've been playing since season 2. I've failed my plat promos twice at this point, so I figured it was time to see what I'm doing wrong.
All right then, that's good. So we're very close then. So Gold 1 on the fringe of plat 4 solo queue, which has never been reached. Okay, very good. What champions have you been using this season that you've sort of had success with?
So I've been playing Jarvan for most of my league career, and I kind of once Volibear got the rework, I decided to start playing him. He was a little overtuned at the beginning, but he's also pretty straightforward. So
Just a bit, yeah.
Also Vi, Nocturne, Sejuani, and Mumu. Mostly Volibear and Vi this season though.
Okay. So that's a really good champion pool that you have set up. I don't fault any of it. Volley, I would actually say, is a little bit, the nerfs were pro play directed, but kind of hit solo queue a bit too much.
Hard.
Yeah, I didn't like it because they nerfed, Q and non-magic mental, Nimbus Cloak, so we sort of had the double whammy. As far as this game goes, obviously if your duo's top lane, especially as the Silas, we want to try to get him ahead. What was your general thought process to this game?
So that's exactly what I was trying to do. I was trying to get him ahead, and the reason you're about to see me roam up to red buff because my duo said he might have started your red. So I was like, all right, if that's the case, then I'm gonna loop up just based on the timing of the top laner coming to lane is what he said and the direction he came. But I don't know.
Well, that's the best thing is always to make sure you know yourself with this.
Yeah.
And look, I fell prey to it as well. Like I played with a friend, he's like, yeah, he started top side, and he didn't, and then I get killed in my second buff. Yeah, I mean, he's late, but he shows up with absolute full mana and a full shield. This should have time to regenerate, but you should at least see something missing. But the fact that bottom lane is missing is most important. So if you see this, where he's laid up and he's like, okay, he came late to lane, he leashed top side, he started top side. The next thing is, okay, to confirm where's bottom lane. And if you see bottom lane cheese these bushes or show out of these bushes, then yeah, right? Definitely. But if the fact that bottom lane still hasn't showed, and they're going to lose minions, there's no way. And what's interesting is they actually show with full mana and full HP. So you don't get any indication from here, which is unusual. Usually you would have the Kaiser, throw out a Q on the red buff.
Right.
For Leash. But yeah, I would never have assumed he started blue. Especially as Lee Sin.
Right.
Like
That's fair.
He's not gonna, I mean, if you would start blue, he's gonna go blue, steal your red. Which would be an odd play. Which is something we didn't really talk about. But I do like starting, I mean, that level 1 was weird, but I do like just warding and falling off. In the case that you wanted to start blue and head to the red, you could have also warded here.
Right. That's what I usually do.
Yeah,
I was debating on where I wanted to gank first.
Well, then this is just sad, isn't it?
Yep. You'll see.
so he actually goes straight to Krugs, and now I was going to be very confused as to what you're doing here, so I'm actually curious to what his reaction is.
He didn't see me.
He didn't see you. No, he didn't. I mean, you could go for a 50-50 smite fight on this, because if he does red Krugs, he's smited.
Right.
And you are closer to level 3 than he is. Well, not from the Krugs, but in terms of having the smite up and so on. This is just sucky. we
it
just
was
shouldn't
it
be
was
here.
not an ideal start, and that it kind of contributed to the bad early game.
Yeah. I mean, he's closer to 3 in raw experience, but I mean, like, with, alright. That's a thing.
I didn't have Q, which was the problem.
This
you
is,
know,
this is horrible for you, because now he's just gonna take those raptors, if he finishes, and, he really takes his sweet time on that. Actually, I didn't realize Lee Sin, that's 252, that's slow. This is why we don't do this clear. So for me, on the outset, I think as Volibear, I'm still confident beating most junglers 1v1, right? Like, we can take them. If you know he starts red and you recognize this, I'd be thinking about 2 things in terms of what your game plan should have been. One, if Lee Sin does buff Gromp level 3 top lane, you need to be there either before the Lee Sin or to counter gank.
Right.
So even if he started here and or even if he started blue and goes down, I'm not concerned about this. Like, I know you wanted to steal the red, but you know, Yone had preference. Bottom lane is just doing whatever the hell they do these days. You're not really in a position to sort of beat Lee Sin level 2. Level 3 we beat him, but not level 2. Okay. See, now what I would have suggested you do is buff Gromp, and if top lane is looking good, he's stable, he's pushed up, then let's take Lee Sin out of the equation. Let's invade his blue. Now, you don't know necessarily if Lee Sin's going to do buff Gromp or full camp, or Lee Sin can do any clear. But in this case, you could have been really nicely positioned for a level 1 level 3 invade.
Right.
Ah. Imagine if she didn't flash.
I know, right?
But this is all information we can take, right?
Right.
He's going up. You're here. So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking probably a top lane gank if it's possible here, but then, you know, like I feel kind of already behind because, you know, he already has a kill going on.
But I think the problem with what you just did there, come on, hit the Q. Hit the Q. Or the W. Oh, that's perfect. That's fine. Okay, so the only thing I would say about this is great recognition for top lane, but your duo, you voice communicate while you play?
Yes.
Alright. So, okay, he's got no spells. He told you had no spells, okay. I think you could have waited 6 seconds.
Probably.
Because he's not going to back off from this. And they don't have any vision, but we don't know that. The benefit of having a scanner early, I think. But either way, it's good. Nice. You gotta be very careful, though.
Yeah, it was a little risky.
I mean, you can 2v1. You guys can easily 2v1 this guy, huh?
Yeah, that's why we wait in the bush. But he backed off.
Like, I would just wait here.
Yeah, we ran too far.
Yeah, you've got shield. And as long as your Silas tanks the Q, you're good. Yeah, but that's fine. Okay. Now what?
So I'm gonna go do Krugs for the clear because I want to take them off the map so they can respawn because the outer camps have a lot of experience associated with them. Just the jungle clear, like the quadrant clearing was not great until probably mid game. Just the early game threw me off a little bit, but I want to reset at this point.
I don't with volley. I don't put a lot of prio on these camps super early. You know, if I have to, I will. Right? You know, if this is a full HP powerhouse jungle and all of this is gone and we get a gank top lane, you know, yeah, right. I have no choice but to go and clear these camps and reset. But at this point, you should still be thinking about the fact that Lee Sin is going to be topside, and that there's going to be a crab up. Now, your guy has TP. So I think, with TP, he TP to this. So he's down, he's out of the fight. I still think you could look to contest river and jungle. Specifically,
you think I could have gone for the crab?
Yeah.
I made the decision not to there because I was low.
I mean, are you really that low? I mean... You're Volibear too.
That's true.
And I mean, you got PT as well, so you're gonna get some nice burst damage that he isn't gonna get. And as long as you kite up to this, by the time your guy has gone back to base, I can't see the timer. You could look to make a play. Like he could TP already, but that's an advanced play, and I'm only recommending it because you're in voice comms. If this is solo queue, I agree with you.
Right? Yeah.
I'm just saying, like if he buys quickly and TPs to you on this fight, you can probably look to do something. You're also a bit of mid prio. I just don't like the idea of giving up. I mean, obviously this is all compromised from your level 1, so it's a little different. So I'll try and speak more generally. If you hadn't done that level 1, I think you should have at the very least gotten a crab or gotten a blue steel or something based upon how long it took him to get 3 and that he did a drive by mid lane. You know, for me, if top lane wasn't gankable and you see Lee Sin go up into the river, you just set a trap and you kill him. And we do kill him as volley. We have that power. So I think obviously it's a bit weird to explain in the theoretical, but just keep that in mind, I guess.
What you're saying makes sense, especially like the purpose of duoing is to have those voice communications and make plays like that.
And you see, the thing for me is this is what I'm worried about. Now, he may not be a good player, and I had my own opinions put in the video yesterday about platinum players, and I'm sure most of them are upset about me, upset at me for what I said, but it's very true. So play towards that tilt, play towards that that arrogance. But I don't like that you get double crabbed. I feel like this is so sad. Agree. But at the same time, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like I said, this is a bad early game, which is unusual for me. But I figured like this is a good thing to talk about, just because like it shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. Not when the level. I mean, obviously it's higher than what you used to, but you can still see the windows that they give you, even in Plat 3. Right. I mean, it's not drastically different, just maybe a bit more fluid mechanics. Like I think for me, the big thing is look at what happens to the Lee Sin. Drive by level 3 camps. Shows up, goes down, takes this. You didn't know he took this. But then when he shows up mid lane and you see him going directly across and you see a CS at 16, you know he's on red side camps into scuttle and he's going for the bottom scuttle. You are currently not in a great position. You have smite up at 9, so you're going to take a fair amount of damage from the Raptors. You could very easily think and extrapolate what does Lee Sin want to do. Now, from my point of view, I'm nervous here. And this is his volley, but I don't want this to happen. Because we need to have a good early game. And if you usually have a good early game, obviously it's not an issue, but it's just worth discussing, as you said.
Absolutely.
I'm worried about this.
That's true. I think he does go into a gank bot lane right after.
Which gives him this.
He gets pretty fed early. Like, but you'll see the game is a little close.
Okay. I'm also concerned that he takes the crab and then says, "Hey, Kitu Grump." Very nice. And what you will be doing is Raptors resetting, going down, and then being like, everything is God, I'm just behind. Sadness. Pain.
Yeah.
So as soon as you see Lee Sin get a crab and go down, and you know he did these 3 camps because you ran into him during your cross-country run, I think we can easily look to go and take something here. And you have this plant available to you. So you can hit this to scan for vision. I think I would just go and start stealing stuff. Because in my mind, this guy is positioning himself to deny you and get the lanes ahead, and you're not really in that position. So I think I would ignore these Raptors for a second. Take his blue, take his Gromp, and then go back top lane and re-gank the Malphite.
That's a better plan. I guess I'm just hesitant to counter jungle a lot of times. I think it's something I need to get more comfortable with.
Well, the thing about counter jungling, I think you thought about it for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, you saved the smite because it wasn't really up, and now you're out, right? You're moving yourself in the field. And you haven't shown for a while. He's going to go bottom lane now. But this is information. Oh, you pinged it? Yeah, but I would be spam pinging that. I mean, why is he resetting? I mean, he hasn't seen you. He hasn't seen you. So what he should be doing is thinking, right, if Volley fell back into Krugs and Raptors, and he hasn't taken this crab, it's unlikely your bottom side. So he should hit this to see what's up.
Especially and then, since they're so pushed.
Yeah. And then he could very easily take your Gromp and then hop on over. It won't be up yet, but he could always do that classic ward hop here. Like, from my perspective, if I'm you, I'm really nervous, and I'm really happy that I see in the replay that this guy didn't execute on all the things we talked about. So you get away with one. But
Everybody gets one.
Everyone gets one. But that's the thing for me. We talked about top lane. Now you're heading bottom side because there's no camps up here. There's no crab. There's no prerogative for you to go top side other than ganking top side. And it won't be, by the time you're done with that, it won't be 2 minutes since you did Krugs and Raptors. And there's no objective. So as soon as you do that, you lose Dragon. So I think if you're going to play the duo, especially this guy, make sure you factor in, I think I did a video and I called it something because I have to do that for some reason, but like just the loop method or whatever. You gank top lane, I take my camps, I see Lee Sin, like you process information. If Lee Sin doesn't show anyway, you know he's doing these. So we have no choice but to do what you did. But I think it would have been safer to take the Krugs, hit the plant to see where Lee Sin is. And if you see Lee Sin on the blue, loop straight down to get this crab. And then you can assess what you want to do next based upon lane states and so on. But I think that the safety of your decision just to go Krugs, Raptors, reset into bottom side doesn't have the same urgency and pressure intensity that you want to have as Volibear. And specifically if you have a really snowball heavy top laner.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But the counter jungling, I think I understand why you would be nervous about it. But the fact that he shows and gives you all the information you need, and he even shows down here, right? Maybe you could have taken his whole blue side.
Yeah.
Instead of Raptors. Because you would sustain wonderfully on these camps with your W, and your smite was going to be up, and then you can just repeat gank top lane. I think 100% that's your game plan.
Okay.
And even with this invade early, I mean, we minus like 45 seconds from that. You could have done all that anyway. And killed Lee Sin, you know, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Now we're doing Wolves into Gromp. Because I assume you want to do Dragon or gank bottom lane.
Correct.
Now you know he's taking that. He ganked top lane, so we're going to go straight to this, but we're going to walk over the ward. I mean,
yeah, I think I get this one stolen from me. I was trying to do it quick. I was hoping bottom lane would rotate, but they did not.
You know, you don't need them at all. Don't even hit this. Like I always say in the coaching videos, you know, people need to hit this Scryer's Bloom to see what they see, what the enemy sees. But you don't need to worry about that. Just, you know the crab's down, so just stick to this little gap. You see this little gap of vision, this fog of war? Do that. Walk close to the wall here. Use your E to bring out the dragon.
Oh, could he not see that? The dragon going across it?
If he clicks on the minimap, he will see the dragon.
Okay.
But he won't see you. What gets him
That's fair.
is that he sees you. And it happened in a pro game with Peanut like 2 years ago. And I made a video about it. Or was it 2 years ago? Whatever. In Korea. And I think it was Peanut. And he...
Well, I haven't heard Peanut's name in 2 years. So that's about right.
Was it Peanut? No. It was someone in Korea in the LCK. And he connected with the Lee Sin Q or the Spiderling from Elise, if I remember correctly. And the Herald just dragged out, and he did it. Right in this little gap, even though the crab was taken. And the enemy team just didn't notice. Because they didn't think to click on the Herald pit, because they thought if they're going to do the Herald, we'll see them. But they didn't. Yeah,
I mean, that explains why I've had some objectives taken from me like that. Like, I think other people have done that to me because I haven't clicked on it before. Like, if I felt confident because I had the crab, and then all of a sudden the objective's gone. Yeah. So that makes sense.
The problem is, for me, this, like, the determination. Just straight line.
I'm tilted from my level 1, okay?
Y equals mx plus b to the dragon. There's no deviation. And he just killed top lane. And the thing is, I'd feel comfortable doing this, but the fact that you were just seen directly, you know... Twice. And all it's going to take is them moving directly down. Now, if it's just the Lee Sin, I
think he does get this. Just on pure luck,
because
he does, took too long.
Well, he gets the Q execute smite.
Yeah.
You don't have that. Your smite's 450, so he just was really lucky. Which is also another thing. If you do this, right, like you're doing this right now, don't sit in the pit. Because you know you were seen, just pull it out a bit. And he's going to walk over, as he does, because no one on his team notices. So it's a good play by him to steal, but like no one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares. On either team. They don't care. But he hits the plant first. Now, he could ward hop and Q, but if you had sort of dragged it up or down, you know...
I think that extra second would have secured it for me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you lose the time, so it'd be higher HP, but yeah. Objective etiquette. Just pay attention, because now you just waste the time.
Yeah, exactly. Release the dragon for him.
Yeah. What you could have done, if this was taken and you were sort of nervous about showing, is because we know this crab is taken, once you count a base after resetting from the top side, go down this way, okay? You should have a scanner, which you can then use to move nicely. Sticking close to the walls, use your control ward.
Blast coned over.
Yeah. Take all his camps as well, and then, you know, you can look to kill bottom lane, you can look to gank mid lane, you can do a lot of things from their side of the jungle that they wouldn't expect. Because you know he's top side.
Right.
But again, he hasn't done his blue side. It's like this could have been such a nice moment for you, I think, to take over the game, but now we're kind of screwed. Because now you're level 4 by the second camp. And there's nothing you can do. You have to wait.
Right.
Good job. You love to see it.
Yeah, that's why I play with him. He's a little tilted at League right now, though. He was at, like, Plat 1, and now he's struggling a little bit. Just because of
2020.
The state. Yeah, just the state of solo queue at the moment.
People are not realizing the effect of quarantine and the world and the stress, especially in the States and NA. Everything that's going on.
Do you think that's why there's so many AFKs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I retired at the beginning of the season sort of from tryouting. I was like, guys, I'm just going to focus on coaching and content because I sort of reached my goal. And it's like, all right, I'm cool with it. You know, whatever. I'm older. It's fine. But even if I was really tryharding, and the few times I did, I had a week or two where I played. And even then, I'm just, you know, when I'm finished with a session and I'm tilted and I'm upset, it's just something on top of everything else, right?
Yeah.
And
that's fair.
People who just play the game for fun or as a hobby, do you really blame them when it's like it's the last straw for them in a day? You know, I mean, it's not right and they should be banned and that's a separate issue, right? It's just, I think there should be some understanding as to why people are on edge.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, the E's a little too soon, bait into our team, misses the E, kill the ward, not so bad, take the crab. Lee Sin's chilling bottom lane. Obviously got another kill. What's our last... Okay, so you did some good things, but let's see what we need to add in. Okay, so we need to add this into our... That's twice now. Lee Sin has gone into the opposite side of the map and given you free counter jungling potential.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't take it.
Yeah, I think that's probably my biggest weakness as a player. I don't counter enough.
Like, I'm looking here. I don't care. I'm Volibear. I'm Volibear. What's he gonna do? You know, the fact that you're not 5 is a little, not 6 is a little unfortunate. But you can get the crab here. You'll get it. Don't smite it. Just heal it. Now I see you're looking for this because she's ulting, but it's just for me like you cut the map in half. And as Volibear, you shouldn't have to. Ah, okay. Good job, Yone. And now, like, he kills your ADC. So again, what can we do? Like, I'm on Herald. And they're pinging it. They think you're on Herald. You should be. But repeat ganking top lane. Like, you should have taken the Herald already.
Yeah.
100%. Ooh. Don't lead with your ult. Ever.
Okay.
Don't ever lead with your ult. It's not an engage tool. It's a chase down tool and a survivability tool and a stunk tool. Right? Finish damage. Squishy person, ult for the emphasis, you know? And then you teabag him. But don't lead. Like, you have Q up and flash up, and he has flash. So what I'm doing from your perspective here is throwing the E out, max range, trying to get the slow. Once you get the slow, also your guy should communicate with you before he E's in and stuff like that. So you have chain CC. Because if he E's the Malphite, you can Q the Malphite. And you can Q flash for it, you know? But once you do that, the Malphite has R and flash up. So if we don't hit our E, if we don't have our flash up, we use it too soon, or you King Kong ult too soon, he's gonna have free escapes, which is what happens, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Or does he actually die somehow?
Red buff.
I mean, how do you die with...
So I got lucky.
Hey, end result, but execution is off, yeah. Like, he should ult away immediately.
Yeah.
But also worth noting, yeah, because you could save, you got a huge wave, huh?
Yeah.
I don't think you needed to use your flash, I don't think you needed to use your ult, I think you were fine. Your ult can be used to tank the tower and stuff, but you got a huge wave here. Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, flash ult used, Malphite lets you get away with it. I'm so upset right now, you have no idea. Look at this. Level 1.
Sorry.
Level 1. Level 1. I bet you he thinks you took it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna be really sad when he goes and clears that and gets no experience because it's all level 1. But you're also sad because you're getting no experience. Ah! There's no ways he face checks that. And he has no TP. Following this gank, you can help him shove and protect him from the Lee Sin. Tell him to disengage once you guys get the plate, and then you should fall back to red side camps. Quadrant clear before you go back to base. The problem is, the Herald is up, but it shouldn't be up, which is affecting the way I'm thinking. Because in my mind, you just Herald this. You know,
I was probably tilted from the Dragon Steel. Like this game was a little while ago, but I was probably like, I don't want him to, because they just saw me. You know what I mean? Like they pinged it, so I didn't want him to come over and do the same thing. I think.
Yeah, but
you
he
know,
was bottom
like you said,
lane.
I should have taken it.
Yeah, he was bottom lane and had to reset and come to you over here. You should have been fine. And I still think, like, the crab is fine, but then you gotta look at this area, you know?
Yeah.
Because now, basically, you have to assess, like, what do you want to do out of base now?
So, out of base, I was thinking, what's the dragon timer right now?
I have no idea. Doesn't tell me in the replay. Yeah, it sucks. Doesn't tell me in the replay. But I'd say about half. Like, just over half. Yeah.
So, I was trying to go bottom lane just to try and help them out a little bit because they've been ganked a couple times and want to swing it. Probably should have just gone top again.
Yeah, you should have. And we don't even go straight for the gank, you just go straight for the camps. Like, it's all very well and good sequencing this way, but now you're sequencing up, and you're going to put yourself on the other side of the dragon. So the big thing for you in mid-game, if you're finding yourself on the losing end of objectives in this elo, is because in this elo you want to control the objective tempo. So you did in the first instance, but again, bad execution lets you not get it, but it was the right call. You know, he's top lane killing my duo, I take the dragon. Just bad execution, you don't get it. But essentially the dragon's down, so the next objective of the map is Herald. Lee Sin goes bottom lane, wastes a lot of time just to get one kill. You should be straight on this, looking at the blue buff, fat wave, diving this guy, using the Herald to open up the map. You know, well, you don't have 2 plates, but I think in this case, funneling the gold into you and your duo is a good idea.
Right.
Doesn't look like you're going to get 2 plates here. Doesn't look like you're going to get to 2 plates here. So we might as well just get as many plates as we can in this instance, and then use that to get Dragon Prio for the second one. Because you want to ping-pong the objectives. When Dragon is down, Herald is up. And then when Herald is down, Dragon is up. And because you took the Herald early, when this second Dragon is down, the second Herald is up. So it's back and forth. You're controlling the map.
Okay.
But by going from Gromp to Wolves now, you're kind of in this awkward place of you're going to be pathing upwards, while the Lee Sin is in the prime position for bot lane pressure and dragon control.
Right. Just on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah, on the wrong side of the map. And now you're probably like, do I go for dragon or do I take Herald? Or do I gank top lane? When the decision... Here we go. You're seen, buddy. Check the bush, buddy. Lee Sin. Check the... There we go. Alright. It's so painful every time. Like, and we go top lane. See, for me now, even if you didn't use... It's fun.
I mean, he tried. He tried.
he really tried. Yeah, see, the problem is you're giving this up now.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
I think I said that to him in comms too. Like, if I gank you top lane, I'm going to lose dragon.
Which is why that's so important, what I was saying before, like ping-ponging the objectives.
Right.
Objective pong. Ping pong, beer pong, objective pong.
So that's a good point. If I had taken the Herald earlier, I would have been able to get the dragon as well.
Yes, you could have done what you said. And that's why I said if you do the scuttle into the Herald and you gank top lane, maybe you don't use the Herald, maybe you do. You can assess on a game by game basis. You can fall back, take Krugs, take Raptors, reset, and now your entire focus is on these camps, this lane, and this dragon. There's no concerns. That's down, plates are taken, camps are off the map, and now I'm where I need to be. And we have TP Prio soon. But I don't think he would have had it for the fight, but something to think about, you know? But now you have no choice. Like, hey, that's good. You guys should take this.
That's what you said about not leading with my ult is, you know, that's kind of eye-opening for me, I guess. I mean, saying it out loud makes sense to me, but it's just not something I had considered before.
Hit the tower. Hit the tower. You guys, I hit this wave. You should try and be pushing for tower pressure.
Yeah.
If he shows up, you just walk away or you kill him because it's 2v1. You guys are fine. But yeah, don't back off so easily. This is the biggest thing I learned from Twitch Rivals. I did the same thing. I was like, okay, I'm a little nervous about people showing up. And then Tenacity was just like, nah, take it. We can take it. It's like, oh, we could. You know, sometimes it surprises even high elo players in the VODs I watch. They sort of disengage thinking they're not going to get the tower. And then like, oh, wait, we could actually take it. And they turn back. So if you're going to take this tower here and have like really shove this wave, like don't worry about the CS, just shove it. Doesn't matter who gets it, if you get it or not. The goal is to really take this tower to force them. Look at this. He's here. Yeah, exactly. And now you two can both reset and just turbo gank bottom lane. And he has TP. So he could even look for a TP play if the wards are advantageous. And you can always, you know, sync up with him.
Right.
And then you can also go mid afterwards. Like now the whole point of doing this play is that you two can look to roam the map in the jungle and open it up completely while being really fed.
Right.
That always works very nice in Platinum. Alright.
Yeah, that was a really interesting interaction.
Good champion.
Right there.
Yeah, fun champion. See,
Well, I more meant the double blast code.
Yeah, that was interesting too. Leave some bottom lane. Run. Just run. Oh my goodness. You're dead.
Yep. I got greedy.
You got greedy. You got greedy. So, if you're gonna do this, kite it upwards, not downwards. Because, you know...
Malphite's mid.
You have wards protection. Here you have no ward protection. We don't have anything. I mean, also, remember, you can use this, right?
Use what?
This is movement
the speed.
Yeah.
I think I have it, don't I? No. I didn't run over it. This is just the river walking.
Yeah. Oh, you should go celerity.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah, don't go water walking. There's no point in this either. Like, you didn't even use it. I think that's the first time you ran into someone in the river that you fought. And it's only good if you're actually going to be aggressive and fight the Lee Sin. This guy's doing a good job of reactive pathing. And he has the same CS as you.
Lee Sin?
Yeah, like the guy is not playing terribly well, but when things are happening, he's rotating very quickly. So
yeah,
that's good.
He was very fed in the early game.
I don't think he needed to flash. Morgana.
But don't worry, Silas is a Healy champion, so it's okay.
Yeah. He doesn't have ult up. See, the thing is, why I focus so heavily on all the stuff I was talking about is because when I get to this phase, you don't want to be in the situation you're in.
Yeah.
5-0-1, 2-1-2. You know, things happen. But it's the fact that he's 400 gold ahead. And he just did a whole bunch of damage, and he had 2.2k gold in the pocket.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, what do we do? What do you do? I mean, there's no feasible objective. Your top lane is dead.
Arm, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can look bottom lane, but... Lulu Kaiser. Yeah, I would just, but I mean, don't go this way. Huh? Just, if you're gonna sequence top.
Yep.
Because now you're gonna go to Krugs, which is up, and now you're gonna go down. So you lose time. Hold mid. Wolves grump, but look at bottom lane. If you see a fight, you should go for it. But you see the difference.
Yeah.
Like, he went straight to lane. Went back to base, bought his stuff. Did he even buy stuff? Yeah, he did. And went straight to gank. And that's the problem with having this situation, is that you don't control the map. He does.
All from a bad level 1, huh? And then some poor decision making around counter jungling.
You didn't punish his bad pathing yet. That's why I thought, out loud, could we go straight to bottom lane? If Lee Sin's there, do you win 3v3? If your lane's really fed, then yeah. Or if you're really fed, then yeah. Yeah, you're leading with the ult.
I know.
Mr. E, but you got the shields, okay. There you go, alright. You can start with the Q. And if the Q isn't going to reach the target, because he's too far away, then you can use your ult to reset the Q timer and gap close.
Okay, I think this is that's a bad habit from Jarvan, because I'm used to EQR, so I'm using the ult as the gap closer instead of the EQ. Yeah. That's good to know.
Yeah, Q, and if you're not going to reach it and you really need to hit that stun, then R. And you can throw your E out while you're queuing, huh?
Yeah.
So it's instantaneous wherever you need it. I don't know why we're not looking at this. The 2v2.
Can you back up a few seconds?
Well, no, you want the crab because you're a jungler.
Oh, okay.
You hungry for crab. Watch it. Should you be doing this, Mr. Silas? No. But we should be here helping them.
Yeah.
You got a 4v2 fight. There should be no reason anyone dies right now. You got the crab though.
Yeah, like the 100 gold from the crab.
Yeah,
instead of having no deaths from the kill.
Like, if you just immediately react to this, you get the kill. Your bottom lane gets to turbo shove this with Silas, full HP, and Morgana. You get to get the crab, you get the tower, you get the dragon, and now you feel confident again.
Right.
Because Yone and Lee Sin are dead. I mean, you get the dragon anyway, but it's more about what else could you have gotten.
Yeah.
So people will often be in these games and think, hey, that's a win. It's not a win. It's half a win. You know?
Well, yeah, this is kind of why I wanted to do the coaching session, because, I mean, you're going to see things that I'm not. Like, I've reviewed this VOD once or twice already, and, like, you're already pointing out so much more than I would have seen.
Good. Yeah, sometimes I worry. It's like, I gotta say, because, I mean, sometimes people see things themselves, and I can tell, but then it's like they just have an issue of playing it in game, but that's a whole separate skill set, you know? This is nice. We took the dragon, we head up, we go back, we take take this and put it in that early phase. I think you were too scared.
Yes. The level 1 threw me off.
Even if I mean, it would throw me off too, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really bad when my level, if I don't get my 3 by like 230, 245 to make my level 3 gank or to invade as Volibear, I get thrown off too. I won't lie to you. It bugs me, and I feel like I'm behind. And if I do it with Warwick, it's even worse because I don't get Tiamat, so it's gonna take me 3,000 years to farm. Oh goodness, now what do I do? And it's not nice. But with Volley, you don't have that power spike.
Right.
You don't need Tiamat. You're still so strong level 3 that this kind of play should not concern you. Hey, Lee Sin's bottom lane, alright, free. Hey, Lee Sin went down to double crab me. Okay, I take his blue side. Like your mindset has to be, enemy jungler gave me this information. How do I do something against this team? Not, okay, I'll keep farming.
Okay.
You know, you're not cautious. Yeah. Ah, that's unfortunate. Malphite ult. No.
So this is a situation. No. I know, I saw it.
I'm not even gonna rewind to watch it in real time. The 2 times is enough. 2 times speed is good enough. Hey, it's a good ultimate for Silas. Like, how much gold do you have? I mean,
Well, there's no big item purchases either. You know what I mean? Like I probably should have looked to use the Herald instead.
You have Kindle Gem.
Oh, okay.
This is a straight Kindle Gem buy.
But it wasn't. I think I took a quick look at who was fed and decided on some armor stats.
Oh wait, I mean, I'm
Going
saying
for Bramble.
they have no AP anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But in general, that 850 gold is huge for you. I don't like full tank volley. I still like going Triforce. I have my own variants of builds to make sure I have damage and sustainability in the late game. With a duo that does a lot of damage and sustain, you can be a full tank. That's fine.
So if I were playing by myself, do you think like Cinder Hulk into Triforce?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would go Stalker's Blade. What I actually do is I go Stalker's Blade, Sheen's Kindle Gem, and Balmy Cinder. Like if I get really fed early, right? I'll get my Stalker's Blade, then I'll just get my Kindle Gem, and if I'm really fed, I'll just get a Sheen. Then I will finish Cinder Hulk because the Sheen is so huge on volley because the cooldown of the Sheen is lower than your W, so it's just free procs on your W. Also, cooldown and HP are so huge on him, and with a full tank build where you don't go Righteous Glory, you just don't get any.
Yeah.
And having the Kindle Gem plus a Sheen gives you 20% early, plus a blue buff gives you 30%. So at level 6,
wow.
Oh, it's beautiful. And which is great for everything. Literally everything. You're still going W max. A lot of people... Oh, wait, actually, we didn't even talk about that. You're going W max, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of people actually just going to Q max now for the movement speed, or 3 into Q into W. I don't like that that's the thing. I still think W max is fine. I like that you reset to go handle bottom lane, but yeah, I think Triforce secondary is huge. Because
I don't think I've pressed the, like enough advantages or like counter jungle enough to. This is something I also want to talk about. Like my champion damage in games tends to be low, but like my kill participation is usually high as well as objectives are high. But I guess if I were to fight more, then like the Sheen would be very important.
Which you should be looking to do. I think the ganking here was nice, but you definitely should have had a lot more pressure on the Lee Sin in terms of invading. And then you also, the 2 times I said, hey, you could go directly to bottom lane. Those should have been things we did, but because we made the missed decisions on the top side, or the level 1 invades, or you passed the wrong way, we were not in the position to help bottom lane. But I think we should have been. 100%. The one time I said you could go straight to bottom lane, you went to Wolves and then Grom, because you wanted to do the dragon. So instead of going bot, or looking to make a play bot, into a counter jungling dragon play, you farmed, and then went to the dragon and got it stolen. And then your blue buff was spawning, and because you knew Lee Sin was down here, you couldn't do anything bottom lane because you were only level 4.
Right.
And you forced Lee Sin to come down here because you walked over vision. If you just secretly did it quietly and then stole his jungle and ganked bottom lane, when I said you could have counter jungled and sort of ganked from their side of the jungle, you have more damage to champions, you have more kill participation, and he would have just been happily doing his blue buff. I mean, you sort of redirected Lee Sin to the bottom side.
Right.
He doesn't know what he's doing. You just put out some meat and he followed the scent,
Yeah.
It wasn't a cognitive decision. Hey, let me go contest the dragon with Volibear's doing it. It was, I saw Volibear, so I'm going to go. And because of that, it took away a lot of your bottom lane pressure, which is where a lot of damage in KP comes from. And the one time you did go bottom lane to clean up, you got a double kill. And then, instead of fighting with your team in the tribe, you went and did the crab. So
do you
maybe
think the crab was the wrong call, or should I have reacted sooner? Yeah.
Immediately. As soon as your duo walks into this bush with a Morgana and you see 2 people, you know Malphite is top lane and you know 2 are dead, this is a straight fight.
Okay.
Like, that information processing has to be so quick. Because that gives you a 2 for 0 kill pressure, counter jungling, tower, crab, dragon, reset, herald. But because you didn't take this tower, what happened since then? The tower still stands because your bottom lane's handicapped in terms of its ability to do anything. Probably wrong word. I didn't mean it in that way, but I meant like
you're thinking golf. You're thinking golf.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez, streaming really corrupts you sometimes. Like, I mean something really honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in golf, exactly. They can't do anything because they're behind, because the Lee Sin ganked them, and it's a Poppy support. So poor Caitlyn. And since then, because your bottom lane has been forced to keep going bottom lane because you didn't make that play, they just get to turbo destroy them and keep shoving bot. And because you didn't take this, I don't think you would have gotten the tower, but it was for me about the principle of how you just toned away. Like you used the herald, you didn't push away, you just walked away. Instead of trying to get this tower. When Yone shows up and Malphite shows up, okay, we're not going to fight, right? It's overstaying, but it's the mindset. So because you didn't react to this immediately, and I mean immediately, recognizing the number situation, you didn't get the tower, and you couldn't use this herald for the good of mankind on the mid lane. Where your bottom lane would have been forced to go, because it's unlikely bottom lanes in this elo. It does happen, don't get me wrong. Usually Smurf bottom lanes actually that are arrogant, but it's unlikely your bottom lane goes back here when this tower's down. The most likely, and you could tell them this in chat, bot, go mid. You know, let's use the herald for a push. And all of a sudden, you're applying all this macro pressure in all these lanes that they're forced to vacuum in, and with your lead, you should be able to win the fights.
Yeah.
You know, like this is huge for me. This is game changing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm agreeing with you.
I mean, what are you going for? Thornmail?
So
Bramble
here,
Vest?
I still have the Rift Herald, so I'm looking to use this.
Yeah.
Like I see bottom lane, I want to start shoving this out, but ideally I would want to use it mid.
My point. Yep. You're right. Because they shouldn't be here, right?
Right.
Your bottom lane should be mid after you take this because of all the plays you made bottom side, so now you can turbo shove mid. And even if they're pushing bottom lane, I'll lose these two towers for a 5-man herald push mid.
Right.
And guess what? If they stay, you guys can reset and kill them. Or if it's later in the game, it's a bit early now, but say it's like 25 minutes, you can just fall back to Barons and things like this. So. Yeah, I think that's really big actually. A lot of missed cues, which is good because I think if you were being drastically outplayed, you could say, all right, it's evidence that you know, maybe I'm not ready for this elo, but I don't feel like the Lee Sin did anything spectacular to get fed. He just walked to things that showed up in the map, and you didn't walk to things that showed up on the map. But you didn't process the map information as well as he did.
Yeah.
You cleared the farming a little bit better after that early game phase, but it's like this is like we don't want this, right? This is just a sad herald. But the Malphite doesn't know which way's up. You know, like she's down here. Why? Like she's just pushing the wave up. But you could have easily set up a slow push just by leaving the back 3 caster minions up. You know, let that slow push in your favor. Tell the Caitlyn, come here. Let's kill the Malphite. Malphite's dead. Yone is topside. We don't care about Yone. Like this is what we see. And I hope. What ult did he take?
Lulu.
Okay, good. And Malphite would have been better, but probably cooldown. Oh, imagine with Caitlyn. I'm watching something on the map. Is anyone else?
Doesn't seem that way.
The least. This is why ADCs hate everyone.
Yeah.
Like you should see this as well. I mean, without Caitlyn, I'm staring at the map right now because you know Malphite's dead. I'm waiting for Yone to flank from somewhere. I'm thinking he might. You know, once you see him splitting, you see him come down. This is a good ward, so you'll see this. But like, this is unfortunate. He's just trapping. Yep. But we should. Actually, you know, benefit of hindsight. I think I see this. But there's no ways you get to her.
Yeah.
But I think
like Morg looks like she saw it.
The Flash Lulu ult. Except you're gonna have the Yone ult. You ult the ghost of where Yone used to be. Kaiser repositions nicely. You should be okay. Yeah. Good. The only bad thing about that was your ult. There we go. Oh, I love it. Don't you love that? Q flash. Yeah.
It's fun.
It is fun. Q flash, auto W auto, and they just die. And like, yep. See, again, like, you see this?
If I had stayed.
Yeah. Oh,
he would be
actually,
dead.
let's see. Yeah, maybe he dies. I don't think he dies, but it's the mindset.
Right.
Like if you are finding that you have low damage, it's probably because these little turns you're not recognizing, or you're trying to run away too quickly. Like you're too passive. You don't trust in the power spike that is Ragnar Volley best skin. That's why I like this skin. This is true Viking best skin. But yeah, the dragon, like, take this as well. You got time. Take this, hit the plant, take this plant away, see if the Krugs are up, leave a ward, you know, all these things we should be doing. Now don't hit on the dragon. Wow. You have scanner? Control? Yeah, you have a control. Yeah, so, okay, this is just redundant.
Yeah.
Like, hit it back to see in the jungle, you know? Take this. You've got the plant. I would plant over and try and see if the Krugs are up. And if the Krugs weren't, I would go push this wave too. Get this tower. Mm-hmm. You've got more than enough dead time between the win in the mid lane, which is huge, and the dragon that you could have taken all of this and a tower and then fallen back to the dragon. And taken this as well. I mean, you have a lot of gold, but I don't think I would have reset myself. I think resetting there is good because you anticipate a fight over the dragon. But at the same time, I think about the fact that I don't think their whole team will be in position to really do anything. And when a fight does break out, you're tanky enough that you will be fine. But maybe I'll eat my words, but I don't think I will. Yeah,
See,
you're fine.
This is the point in the game where I'm like, I think I've got it in the bag. You know what I mean? Like, we've won 2 straight fights in a row. We have 2 Infernals.
You're good.
Then,
that should have been Soul.
Yeah, exactly.
That should have been Soul. Like, it's GG because it should be Soul, and it's GG because this is 100% should have been dead like 18 times now. And this should all be gone so that he has nothing to do with his life. And you reset with, instead of 2.2, you reset with like 1,000 more.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to do this now. Like, now you can reset, right? Unless you have like Jurassic item spike. But you could have just straight reset. I don't know about the itemization.
Yeah. Looking back on it, Thornmail's probably not the move. I think I probably could have stopped at Bramble.
I think you still could have done Kindle Gem into Spirit Visage.
Even versus Yone, you think? Well, I guess he does do half magic.
There damage. You go. Yep. And so does Kai'Sa. And so does Lulu. Okay. And that's so fair. Does Malphite. So in retrospect, I said Kindle Gem instinctively. We should have just actually had the discussion about itemization. We sort of defaulted to the Triforce stuff, but yeah. I think you could have easily gone Spirit Visage with that Kindle Gem. It would have been way more useful. Because I mean, what healing are you stopping, really? I mean, I know Yone has heal. I'm so upset.
I don't want to talk about it, okay? It's the same problem every single time.
Alright, so we talked about itemization, and this is my point here. You sort of... we reset after the dragon, and you're going here. So, oftentimes I'll say this to junglers specifically. We can farm when our team is back or not engaged or people are dead, but if our team's ready to make a play, we should at least try and be with them. Now, if you're going to be a split pusher, be a split pusher, but I don't think you are the split pusher of this game. No. You're the tank. So I think it's right. Go down immediately. So I think this is right for you. I don't think this is a wrong move. I think this is a wrong move because Caitlyn's here. So this is not your fault, this is their fault. But, you know, that's why I say you should be with them, just to think about those things. But, yeah. It's a good rotation either way. This is... it's just stupid. Like, your guy should have just waited as well.
Yeah.
But I don't. The Malphite's full tank, no damage. Nice turn.
Yep.
It's killing you. It's killing you in these fights because you should still have it up. You can just walk over with your Q. Like, what's your target? What are you thinking of focusing?
I would hope for Kai'Sa, but she's already dead, so I would want to get rid of Lulu next, just because she's squishy, or Lee Sin, but I went for Malphite, it looks like.
So...
I went for Lee, and then turned to Mal.
Yep, target shifting.
But now that Yone's here...
You get him. No, I think you can afford to just stick on the Lulu, huh? Like, you should just go kill the Lulu.
Yeah.
Yeah, your target focus here was bad. The ultimate usage was sad, but it's not the reason you sort of didn't get destruction. Because I think you could have just queued onto the Lulu and killed her. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Because that should have been a clean ace into a clean baron. Which now you can't do. For some reason. I mean, you can, but yeah, I agree. At least
It would have
something
been risky.
that should have been an ace and a baron. And that's the nice thing is it's all your team fighting. So you can control that.
See, like, I'm really fed at this point, like 7-1 and 8. And,
yeah, you're strong.
I should be more fed is what I'm taking away from this.
You should be, okay, yeah, that's generally the problem with coaching is the ultimate message at 15 minutes is you should be more fed than you are.
Yeah.
And I say that every single time, but the reasons why vary drastically from game to game, from player to player. But yes, ultimately you should be more fed than you are. However, you made some good fights and you made some good decisions that gave you some gold. And now we're just playing the Platinum Macro game, which is just brain damaging. You have
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. You're a tank with no Triforce. It's like the reason I like my build is because I can just flash and kill the Lulu. I can flash and kill the Kaiser. I can take Destiny into my own hands, but now you're pure tank, so. The problem is Silas is bottom with no TP, so you gotta be very careful not to force a fight without him. Dragon's gonna be up. See, like, instead of posturing around the Baron, which again, like, you should have had Soul, 100%. We agree on that. And with your team fighting focus being a little better, you should have had a Baron, a clean ace and a Baron, which means you can easily set up any kind of macro situation you want. You can just 5-man mid and win. You can set up Silas in a split push and win. You can 1-3-1, you can win. And then this would be an Elder Dragon, but you'd get it after getting like 2 inhibs. You know? And then you win the game. Unless you're TSM.
Oh man, there's some salt over there.
That's funny. It's just funny. No, I liked Björksen like as soon as he joined. So no, I have no salt.
I'm a Cloud9 fan, so I like the TSM.
I think TSM and Cloud9 teams and fans have a mutual respect of enjoying seeing both teams go far. No one like Cloud9 doesn't like seeing TSM like dog shitting out, and Cloud9 and TSM doesn't like seeing that either. You know, it's more fun when both teams are sort of playing well.
Agreed.
Like, you should be pulling this out, though.
And then I tried.
Yeah, no,
Poppy ran into the pit.
She saved you from being TSM.
She did the block.
No, who lost all the dragons?
A wild turtle kept stealing dragons.
Yeah.
And then
okay, see that's a better ult.
But it's bad because I'm on the other side and I can't protect anybody.
Okay, your duo should be here, 100%. If he's not, he should be TPing him. He should be TPing here.
Yep.
He's got Zhonya's? Nah, he used it. Yeah, but your duo should be here.
I think he was fighting. He fought Malphite off to the side. Yeah. That's why Malphite's dead.
Yeah. But like, yeah, okay. So let's just scratch that. He actually deals with. Yeah, we're talking about LCS instead. So he gets this kill, which is great. Okay, so this is down. Morgana also does the fight, and then he disengages. Morgana dies, right? Okay. Sorry, we didn't properly assess the fight. So there's no need to actually TP, but in theory, if everyone was alive, he could look for that. But yeah, my bad. I think just focus on the Yone.
Yeah, that would have been the better move.
I don't think you need to ult just yet.
This might have been a mechanical misplay. Like, I'm trying to ult Yone and then I went too far. I'm not 100% sure.
Because now, as you say, Kaiser's going to reposition, Lee Sin repositions, Yona's there, and your duo's by himself. Caitlyn flashes in and dies, and now you're basically doing nothing.
Yeah, and this is where the game is over, essentially.
I don't know. I mean, this is a small thing, but you should see these eyes.
Yeah.
And so as soon as he comes in, you're able to hit the Q if it's up. Yeah. So my bad about the. We're talking about the LCS. I missed the. Your buddy doing good work on the top side. So yeah, it comes down to this again. Because you have to have in your mind the repositioning of everyone. Like what's the purpose for ulting here other than damage?
Yeah.
Like, you see 3 people hugged up, you're like, oh baby. I know what you're thinking, like, oh baby, but you're a tank.
Yeah.
Your goal is to protect everyone else. So I think you just need to ult the Yone right here on the spot.
Yeah.
okay? And make sure that your guy lives. And then from that, whatever's in front of you guys, you deal damage to. That's it. You just keep him alive. Because you two are the carries, not even the Caitlyn. Like I know, and I know you have to focus on the Caitlyn now, but in the immediate focus, just keep your guy alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the throw. That should have been Elder Dragon, 2 inhibitors, and a Baron all the way down.
I think the game should have been done by this point.
Yes. This would have been a Elder Baron, yeah, basically Elder Baron into a close at this point. Like in my universe, you have 4 dragons for Soul, totally. You have 2 inhibitors down from the Baron play you should have gotten by having good team fighting to get an ace, which means when you get this Elder Dragon and they fight you, you just wipe them and you just end. Yep. This is actually a very good total look at how to carry and platinum. Really good total look at how to carry and platinum. It's very nice. It's a good game. Very good game to choose, actually. It shows a lot of the issues that junglers, that you as junglers sort of make in this elo in terms of mistakes and not capitalizing on enemies' mistakes, but also the decisions that you can't make because of those mistakes. You know, like you can't make certain decisions later in the game because we lost 2 dragons, we didn't take a herald, we didn't get the lead we needed, etc.
Right. They gifted us back into the game though, like for the lead that they had.
Yes.
They probably could have closed it out.
I actually never felt like they really had a lead. I felt like their bottom lane was ahead, but because your top lane was equally as far ahead, it was offset because you and Lee Sin were pretty much equal in terms of XP, in terms of impact. There was no sort of like, hey, Lee Sin is totally destroying the game.
Right.
Yep. The missed change there sucks.
Yeah.
Because that guy dies with a chain hit.
I think I engaged way too early as well.
You did. 2 missed chains really sucks. Like I know Silas, I play Silas, so it's
I think he's not very comfortable on Silas, to be honest. I think it was like a, hey, this is a counter to Malphite, let's do it type of situation.
Was working.
Yeah, it was. And then the game's just over, which is sad.
Yeah,
But it's okay.
It's fine. I think if I was to lose this game, I would not feel blamey. I'd feel very introspective about it. To be honest with you, I'd say, okay, look, I made enough mistakes.
Right. And that's why I picked it, because it's like I was so fed, and so was the top laner. So it's like I must have done something wrong to not been able to carry.
Like you're just getting so chunked out, and I see he's making the flank with the Malphite ult, but okay, so the volley alpha stonk that you're going for, that I see you doing, my favorite thing, and I don't mean to reference Switch Rivals, but again, in the scrims we had a Malphite top lane sitting in, and he ulted 4 people in the middle of this lane, and my immediate reaction as volleyball was, yes. Yeah, I never pressed R so hard, and I just landed on top of them. My E was coming down in the meantime, and then it was just like 2v5 fight. We're like, all right, that was fun. I greatly enjoyed myself. You have a Malphite ultimate here. Wait for the Silas to bring the pain. I mean, this is 712 damage he's about to lay out.
Yeah.
Onto this team, and once he does that, follow up your ultimate. Like Volley's ult is not always an engage tool. It's a disruption survivability tool, but it's great follow-up. Because by ulting this soon, you force them, okay, in theory, to respond, to use spells, to disengage, to reposition, and now you don't have a juicy Malphite ult to hit. And he actually goes...
I screwed that up.
And he goes on the wrong target anyway. I think he was right-clicking and R-ing the spot because of where the bottom lane was, but you go into soon, which causes them to reposition.
Yeah.
That's so sad. Alright, we don't need to watch the pain again.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I don't want to see it either. I've done it too. You just get too excited to go in, you lose too much HP from a chunk. But I hear it. I think this is big. You know, like you go for the dragon after clearing, but we could have looked to make a gank in the bottom lane, knowing that they had no sums, you know? Right. And then you can use that to do the dragon afterwards, because you know Lee Sin's currently topside.
Yep.
You know, but because your mindset was clear camps first, you're behind a step. his mindset was gank and react first and then clear afterwards.
Okay.
And that's maybe something also just to think about in those early phases.